morning, this is Athavan newspaper highlights. Today is Sunday, 21st of August 2016. I am Edward Udedas Devasagayam Pillai with the highlights of today's English newspapers. Three leading Sri Lankan newspapers are taken up for today's highlights: The Sunday Times, The Sunday Observer and Ceylon Today. Firstly, let's have a look on The Sunday Times. The main headline says, Malik hires another US firm to lobby for Sri Lanka. Foreign Ministry unaware, non-existent peace process part of the deal. Sajin under investigation for hiring lobby firms. Development Strategies and International Trade Minister Malik Samaravikrama has engaged a United States lobbying firm to educate officials on a non-existent peace process, increase economic ties and market access. The firm Sandler Travis and Rosenberg has filed a registration statement as required by US law with the Foreign Agents Registration Act for this new deal. Its records are publicly available in the US and through its website. It has named its client as the Ministry of Development Strategies and International Trade. It has not said who in the ministry concluded the deal. Former monitoring MP Sajin Vas Gunawardena has been implicated in the exercise. Children getting addictive stuff at school games. Using a decade-old loophole in the law, importers are bringing an addictive substance called SBS snuff or dungutu and peddling it mainly among school children. Snuff is smokeless, powdered tobacco. While it does not contain narcotics, snuff has nicotine and is addictive. It is also a gateway product for school children, according to Dr. Palida Abeyakon, chairman of the National Authority on Tobacco and Alcohol. This means there is a danger of children using this snuff going on to take up smoking and other addictive substances in the future. Paranagama Commission proposes Special High Court and Truth Commission. The Presidential Commission to investigate complaints regarding missing persons in its final report has recommended the setting up of a two-way domestic mechanism, a Special High Court and a Truth Commission to deal with persons accused of human rights violations during the last phase of the war. Suspects who plead not guilty to alleged criminal charges should be charged in the High Court, while those who plead guilty should appear before the Truth Commission where they can be offered accountable amnesties. The Commission has recommended, the Sunday Times learns. Secondly, let's move to Ceylon Today. The main headline says, Ban Ki-moon to contest South Korean presidency. It is learnt that United Nations Secretary General Ban Ki-moon, whose tenure at the UN ends at the end of this year, will be making a bid for the presidency of South Korea in the 2017 presidential poll. MR to skip SLFP convention. A senior representative of the joint opposition said that Joe and SLFP Kurunagala district MP Mahinda Rajapaksa will most probably leave for Rome in early September in order to address some audiences arranged by Sri Lankans living in Italy. He said the former president will not be able to attend the 65th anniversary celebration of the SLFP at Malikapitiya Kurunagala on 4 September. Joe sources said a final decision will be made on whether Joe MPs and its party leaders will meet on 22 August and whether Rajapaksa will be here to chair the meeting. Abru's death, was it a fatal fall? Supreme Court Judge Sarath Abru had to leave the job because he was accused of serious sexual violence against his female domestic aide. He surrendered to court when CID was about to arrest him. Attorney General indicted him in Colombo High Court pertaining to the sexual harassment allegedly conducted on or around 16 July 2015. The case was to be heard on 14 September. A group of lawyers led by a renowned President's Council was ready to appear for him. The charge was serious, but before the case was taken up, Abru accidentally fell from the first floor of his house and died. Like his life, his death also hit news headlines. Did he fall or was he pushed down or did he commit suicide? The judicial medical officer at the Kalubovila hospital delivered an open verdict on his death. Finally, let's move to the Sunday Observer. EDCA talks. Early gains freed up exports to India. Next EDCA meeting in India in October after finalizing trade policy. India, Sri Lanka agreed to remove quota on export of goods. The relaxing of quotas on Sri Lanka exports to the vast neighbouring Indian market are among early achievements in the ongoing negotiations on the Economic and Technology Cooperation Agreement between Sri Lanka and India, the Sunday Observer learns. Drunken pilot delays UL 554 15 hours. A drunken pilot's misbehavior resulted in the regular Sri Lankan Airlines flights from Frankfurt to Colombo being delayed by almost 15 hours, with embarrassment and financial loss to the airline and huge inconvenience to passengers, the Sunday Observer learns. Reconciliation Task Force to hand over report in September. The Consultation Task Force on Reconciliation Mechanisms, headed by reputed human rights defender and attorney at law Manowari Mutatuagama, will submit its final report to the government late September. Dr. Pakiyasodi Saravanamuthu, secretary of the task force, told the Sunday Observer yesterday that they hoped to wrap up entertaining public submissions by the end of this month and submit the report by mid or late September this year. OMP bill duly passed and legally valid. Speaker Karu Jayasuriya said the Office of the Missing Persons Bill has been duly passed as it was in order and was legally valid. It is the joint opposition's contention that the OMP bill was not properly passed in Parliament. With that, let's come to an end of today's paper highlights. We will come with more news tomorrow morning. Thanks for listening to Athavan newspaper highlights.